Well, it looks like they got another one. And just like that, here we go. Will Smith is hit with a lawsuit, civil lawsuit, may I add, by his violinist, former violinist, I should say, because they fired him. And that's what a lot of this suit is about. But right after we have Tyler Perry, here we go. We jump right into this, not to mention the other issues happening with Diddy and happening with Shannon Sharpe, or that happened with Shannon Sharpe. NFL player Stephon Diggs also having an alleged suit from his chef saying that he abused her to that degree. And people are saying that Cardi B should break up with him. Yo, a lot going on. And I also see a pattern here where it happens to be black men who seem to keep getting in trouble with the law or the system, shall I say, in the United States. Something very odd seems to be going on here. And the fact of the timing of all of this is just very interesting. How we even had that one R&B producer for Diddy, Lil Rod, got kind of famous, I guess, off of that because, you know, he got some recognition, got interviews, went on that documentary. So he seemed to get a little bit of clout from that. But now I'm starting to wonder, is this the new move now? Because now we have the violinist who was with Will Smith, who appears to be saying the same exact thing. And I started looking a little bit into this suit, man. And I got to tell you, after hearing the lawyer, the attorney who's representing, you know, the guy suing, whatever the lawyer lingo term is that you use, the lawyer that's working against Will Smith basically is not answering any questions. I listened to an interview of him and I wasn't even going to play it, but because it was just so absurd and just so vague, I thought to myself, you know what? Y'all got to hear this too.
Did you have an opportunity to review the surveillance footage to see who may have entered your client's room?
We know that there's surveillance footage out there.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I just want to go back to Will Smith for a second. And correct me if I'm wrong.
So y'all see, this is the lawyer right here who's representing the violinist who's suing Will Smith, the guy on the right. Are you serious? Is this what we're doing here, people? Like, is this what it's come down to? Just watch real quick how this man cannot answer, or shall I say, just watch how quick this attorney does not answer any very straightforward questions. The way he ducks and dodges these questions is just amazing. If this is what they teach in law school, like when they ask the question, oh, well, we just have to wait for discovery. So are you saying that Will Smith is the one who essayed your client? Well, we'll have to wait for discovery first before we can address that to the public.
To be clear, is your client alleging that Will Smith ever really harassed him or propositioned him in any way?
I don't think that's not the claim that's being made in our complaint right now.
100%. But the comment that Will Smith allegedly made to him was put there for a reason. No, it was that comment that he allegedly made. And I believe there was even a reference to other unidentified comments that would give him rise to believe that whatever was left in his hotel room went to this claim of harassment in a way.
Right. I think that remains to be seen. I don't want to get ahead of my skis on that. Those are facts that are going to come out in discovery. And you're asking me to kind of hypothesize on what may have happened in this case. And again, you know, as an attorney, our job is to advocate for our clients, to figure out the facts. At this point, you know, the only side of the story I know is from what my client tells me.
Sure.
We want to do the discovery. We want to get into the weeds of this case. We want to figure out exactly what happened, who was involved in this. And
so what it sounds like to me is that this guy got fired and then he got replaced, then goes on to say that he suffered from emotional distress, loss of income, and embarrassment. Let me ask you a question, y'all. Welcome to America. Isn't this what most people face once they get fired from a job? I mean, unless they didn't give a shit, then who cares, right? But if they probably cared about the job, which it seems like this guy did, then obviously you're going to maybe suffer a little emotional distress and possibly PTSD. I don't know, man. We're coming up on a generation of, or we already are in it, of weak men. Shall I say this? I was thinking about this earlier today, but, you know, I want to be real with y'all. You remember there was a time where you could actually say the truth? Or maybe there wasn't really never a time for that. But, you know, we could say some truths, right? Let me say this truth. Has the country gotten this soft? You know, first it was like the whole Me Too thing. But then when did it start becoming about men on men? And just everybody's just suing everybody. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, this doesn't matter what the sexual preference is. It's all about essaying. Yeah, but let's look at the Tyler Perry situation. That was the other one I wanted to mention earlier too. We're just having the Tyler Perry, the Stephon Diggs. We already know about Diddy and Shannon Sharp. And then here we go, Will Smith. And two of these are claims made by men. So therefore now it's like, oh, what? Like when did it become a thing where a man says, oh, somebody left a note in my hotel room, so I'm thinking that this is harassment. At least that's what's said in this lawsuit, because I did look a little bit into it, and it just looks so ridiculous, man. It looks so ridiculous to the point of where it doesn't even make sense, man. It doesn't even make sense. So this guy just made some kind of complaint. I don't know if he went on social media and started posting stuff. I mean, he has now. Let's see if we can play the video.
A major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out about this is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work is not okay.
He provided absolutely no details right there, just as his lawyer. They both are not making any sense other than this looking like a money grab. No details whatsoever. He just sounded like he was just doing a speech for harassment in the workplace. It seems that we possibly have reached the point where men, especially, that are just untalented, or maybe, obviously he had some talent because he wouldn't have been on the tour with Will Smith if he didn't. But the point that I'm making here is that clearly he didn't have what it took to stay on the tour. And this is the reason why I believe he was fired. At least this is what it says in the report. And then on top of that, you get upset, and so you file a lawsuit. Because in the lawsuit, if you listen to what the lawyer said that it had really nothing to do with the S.A.M allegedly accusing Will Smith, even though that's what it said in the documents. But here is the lawyer saying that that's not exactly what this suit is about. It's actually more so that we feel he was treated unfairly because he got fired for reporting an SA harassment case in the workplace. How ridiculous is this? But in this particular situation, something seems off about this. It looks like a money grab to me. The individual just does not look trustworthy to me. Just looking at the body language, the pictures, the style, just doesn't look trustworthy to me. He probably thought this was some young hip kid who's got a lot of style and swag, and then comes to find out, nah, he might have some mental issues. Clearly. And this is how it looks like people are trying to just get the bag now.